Here we look into the very nature of God, who were born. To be a child, you have to be born. This is that new birth, regeneration. Who were born, not of blood. You know what that means? Heritage, descent. Doesn't come down from your ancestors. That's not how you become a child of God. Not because of your parents or your grandparents or your family. Nor of the will of the flesh. Not because of personal effort, personal moral effort, personal spiritual effort, personal religious activity. Nor of the will of man. What does that mean? The acts of others, some sacramental system, some system of religion plied by so-called priests on your behalf. You're not going to become a child of God by family heritage. You're not going to become a child of God by personal effort. You're not going to become a child of God by some man-made system. All impossible. How? You were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God.
So if you want to know what the gospel is, if you look at all of the sermons in the book of Acts and distill their essence, you can see what we call the kerygma, the basic structure of apostolic preaching. When the apostles went out and preached the gospel, they didn't say, come to Jesus and all of your problems will be over. That wasn't what they did. They said that, as Paul opens up his letter to the Romans, that he was set apart for the gospel of God, which God promised beforehand through his prophets in the Holy Spirit. This good news had already been proclaimed in part through the prophets of the Old Testament concerning what? What is the content matter of the gospel? It's not about you, and it's not about me. God's gospel concerns his Son. It always concerns his Son. When it doesn't concern his Son, whatever it is, it's not the gospel.
Grace, to be God's grace, must be absolutely free. It must be based upon God's good purpose and not on anything in us. That is why when you read that golden chain of redemption in Romans chapter 8, every verb there is something God does. God foreknows. That doesn't mean he looks down the corridors of time. That's an active verb. It means he chooses to enter into relationship in love. He foreknows. He predestines. He calls. He justifies. He glorifies. You can't break that chain. And that is a gospel of power. That is a gospel that honors God.
The parable of the two sons is at the end of the day the parable of the three sons. There is the son who goes astray. There is the son who stays at home. And there is the son who is telling the parable, who himself has come into the far country, who has said to his father, Father, I will arise and go now and rescue these prodigals. But my son, if you go and rescue these prodigals, you have to enter into the depths of alienation that their prodigality has led to. Father, I am willing to go. But my son, you are equal with me. Father, I do not regard that as a reason why I should not go. Then, my son, if you are willing, go. Go now. Do the work. But my son, my Spirit will attend you, and you will come back to glory.